And it's all about just the small little things that you really need to look at to, not have those lawsuits. There's some people who say, well, I'm not worried about that because the insurance is going to pay for it. Have you ever been in a lawsuit? Do you know how long and time consuming these get?
There's one more question I had about short-term rentals. And you may not have had any experience with this, but have you ever worked with the VRBO or the Airbnb insurance policies that they offer, through a claim?
No,
okay.
I have not.
Okay. Yeah. What about liability? Where do you think liability is growing the most? What are you seeing as far as liability claims the most in rental properties?
Liability, as far as liability, I think the owner just needs to be conscious of, again, vetting the client, but also even the small things of, you got wires going across steps, at the bottom of the step, and as an owner, you may say, yeah, it's not really a big deal, or I'll give you an example of something that happened, and that this might help you. So I had a rental property downtown in the city. I had a friend come over. They had steps going down into the basement, and you have two railings, but at the top of the railings, they're going this way. He's leaning against the railing. The railing caves in. He goes down the steps. It's like a big lawsuit. I won't give the amount, but a huge lawsuit. And he won. It split his head open. And who was at fault? Well, the owner of that property didn't make sure that those railings were secure, and it's all about just the small little things that you really need to look at to, not have those lawsuits. There's some people who say, well, I'm not worried about that because the insurance is going to pay for it. Have you ever been in a lawsuit? Do you know how long and time consuming these get? On top of, you've got a $600, $700 million claim on a property that follows you. So insurance companies are going to say, oh, Stephen Glover, wait a minute, what is this $1 million liability policy? And you want me to write these 4 houses for him? Yeah, no, sir, we're not doing that.
Does that also fall off in 3 years?
It will.
Yeah. But still, that's 3 years. You're going to go through some pain.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything with DoorDash drivers or anything like that? I've seen it on nationally, some crazy things, but have you seen any in claims that you've dealt with?
I haven't seen it, but if the owner of the home has done everything in his power to protect his property, then typically that lawsuit's not going to go anywhere. Now, if that owner is negligent on a property, whether they got cords going across the above ground and that UPS driver comes in or whatever, and I'll give you one quick scenario, and this was a dog issue. The UPS driver went to the house, deliver a package. Door was cracked. German Shepherd comes out, bites the UPS driver multiple times. He went to the hospital. So the homeowner gets sued, UPS is involved, workers' comp's involved, all these things that could have been prevented if that dog had been either, the door had
contained,
been contained or whatever, or on a leash or and you see it sometimes with trees, and people, I get this question a lot, hey, my neighbor's got trees that are leaning over my property and they're dead. And here's my suggestion to that is you send that other owner a certified letter saying, we think this tree is dead and we would like for you to take it down. And you keep your on file and you send it to them. If you send it certified, they sign for it, they got it. Then if nothing's been done in 3 weeks to a month, you send another one. When you send that second letter and nothing's been done and they refuse, if something happens, what that allows is, so the tree's still going to fall on your property. You're deductible, so you got to come out of pocket for $2,500. But what that does is it allows that insurance company to go after his insurance company because he was notified and he was negligent on this dead tree. And I have situations where a tree actually fell on someone, and they usually will lose that lawsuit. So,
right.
Yeah.
We've had that. We actually get that a fair amount where the tenants will send us a work order and say, there's a dead tree on the property. Can you please remove it? And that's always, it's a really tricky one because we're like, that's going to cost thousands of dollars. Is it really dead? Is it just like a tree they don't want to look at?
Right.
Is it like, and so we have to analyze all this, and then we go to the landlord and let them know like the risk and this and that. And it's like, it's usually a pretty tough call to say like, is this worth removing or is it just, so yeah, it's, you know, we try to lay it up to where, you know, safety first, like, hey, this is what we suggest. We understand this is going to cost money. It does appear to be dead. It looks like it's been dead for a long time. It's not leaning, but, you know, branches could fall or stuff like that.